All right, this story is just going to have the pot calling the kettle black, and my God, racism is going to be running rampant with it, because that's what it is, right? Everything is racist in law enforcement, apparently. Guys, welcome to Cop Talk Live, Changing Cop Culture. I'm Dominic Izzo, former police officer from the northwest suburbs of the Chicago area, here to change cop culture with you through the lens of both being a cop and a citizen now, and bringing the truth and reality of law enforcement to you, the discerning citizen, the police supporter, the police hater, whatever you are, so we can actually fix this problem we have in law enforcement. Don't forget to check us out at coptalklive.org and support the channel. All right, let's look at this for a second here. This is new video shows a Chicago police officer arrested for squealing tires by Tempe PD, Arizona. The caption says, new video shows Tempe Police Department officers placing a Chicago police officer in handcuffs for allegedly squealing tires for 1 to 2 seconds. Before I even watch this video, CPD. You guys know how you treat people, right? No, let me not even get that way. So I haven't even seen this yet. Are you going to tell me that this is an active Chicago police officer who's going to be talking about how he's treated on scene by other cops? Do you guys want to talk about how you treat other cops? I've dealt with other Chicago police officers, both on and off duty. They treat you like you're not a cop. You're not a Chicago police officer. When we know that you guys, for the most part, are glorified doormen. You show up on scene after something has happened and you stand around in mass numbers for hours drinking coffee, pulling security. You sleep in your squad cars. You drive like a bunch of a-holes who have no regard for traffic laws when you're not going code somewhere. I really don't care for Chicago police because of a lot of their attitude. Simple as that. But we're going to have a CPD officer crying how he was treated. I'm just assuming. I haven't watched this yet. I might be completely in the wrong and owe him an apology. We'll check this out. But from personal experience, I'm not the biggest fan of CPD. Pulled over a CPD guy once for hauling ass through my town before he even got to the window. Had his badge up. I'm like, I don't care. Give me your license. I really don't care. They're just, that's a personal bias if you can't tell. So, and I know that's how a lot of the nation feels with a lot of police officers. So let's watch this together for, apparently he got pulled over and was ripped out of the car. Let's check this out.
Police pulled this man over. They didn't know they were pulling over a police officer. We broke this story last year, and tonight we're finally seeing exclusive body camera video raising serious questions. Was that man unfairly targeted and arrested? ABC 15 investigator Nicole Grigg got the footage, and it has the NAACP demanding answers.
Hey, give me your ID.
This is the traffic stop.
For what? For tripping your tires.
That's raising serious questions.
I come in the back of the car.
About why these officers put an unarmed black man in handcuffs after just 4 seconds. We did not get this video from Tempe Police. That's because the department says it would take them more than a year to release it.
I don't want to sit down. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you to sit down.
We got permission to show it.
Sit down or we're going to put you on the ground, dude.
From the man at the center of all of this, a Chicago police officer.
You're under arrest. Okay?
Under arrest?
I'll explain in a second, but you do need to take a seat.
Questions about policies and procedures inside Tempe PD.
Pull your hands back up behind your butt.
This cannot be okay.
And because of those questions, the NAACP is getting involved.
This cannot be acceptable. This cannot continue to happen. Something needs to be done.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing before I even continue this because I know firsthand. Now, let me explain something to you really quickly for those who are going to talk about racism in law enforcement. Racial profiling, 100%, it does exist. I don't know why we don't acknowledge this. I don't know why we don't just accept this. Culture and crime go hand in hand. They do. There's certain crimes that you just hear all the totality of the circumstances before you're on scene. You're like, a white guy did that. You hear this, a Hispanic guy did that. A black guy did this. A woman did this. A male did this. It blows me away how the only time we ever want to celebrate or connect race with anything is the positive sides of the culture, right? Like in my culture, Sebastian Maniscalco will give up and he'll talk about stand-up comedy that has Italian correlations, and everybody of us will be applauding because everything he says is true. You've got all the Hispanic communities that use their culture. You've got black comics who use their culture. You've got Asian comics who use their culture. When we celebrate anything with awards, it's always for excellence in culture. But when it comes down to criminal behavior, it's like, no, we can't associate. We're not going to associate criminal behavior with our culture when it's insanely indicative of your culture. And race is a part of that because the two primary factors that establish culture are how you look and the language you speak. I'm not going to fit in a Cantonese or Chinese culture because I do not look like one of them and I do not speak like one of them. If I was fluent in Cantonese, I would have a leg up in becoming involved with that culture. For the common person out there, does what I'm saying making sense? So if we have, I don't know, for argument's sakes, you hear that a liquor store was robbed and somebody took a bottle of Chardonnay and maybe cranberry juice and vodka, I'm looking for a white broad. It's like, okay, there you go. But if a bottle of Hennessy and a pack of Cools were taken and I'm looking for a white female, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm going to find that person unless she's stealing it for her black boyfriend. If you have a problem with my rhetoric, then you have a problem with the way the world works, and criminality and culture will never wind up being solved, and the community will never come together with the police because we want to argue about the sensitive feelings against one of the most easily recognized thing in the world, which is called pattern recognition and attaching it to a culture. So when this guy starts talking about this, you don't think this Chicago police officer has treated his own the same? Let's pull up every body camera footage he's ever been involved on. We need to have this cut. This is going to be, I have a feeling this video is going to be extremely hypocritical, and this is just somebody using their black skin looking for a payout.
Mr. Andre Miller is a state vice president, and he wants answers from Tempe PD about whether Jalen Woods was targeted on Mill Avenue.
To see an actual African-American police officer who should have gotten a ticket, should have gotten some type of courtesy, not be given any.
Did he just say he should have gotten some kind of courtesy? No, sir. Absolutely not. If he broke a law, he should be held to the highest standard out there. No, if you're talking about giving him a courtesy because he shares the same skin color of yours, then you're a problem too. But no, that cop should have been held to the highest standard possible because of his profession. Professional courtesy is one of the most abhorrent, disgusting things on the planet, and it aids. It's a seed. It's a seed in the tree of life of the police use of power abuse.
Any type of courtesy, be arrested, taken to jail. That's not okay.
We first told you about his case a few months ago. Jalen arrested and taken to jail.
Because I feel as though those officers did what they did to me because of my skin color.
A police report says he revved the engine, causing the tires to squeal for 1 to 2 seconds. Officers say it was an illegal exhibition of speed, but city prosecutors dropped his case.
The police report.
Then done. You issue him a ticket. If it's an arrestable offense, you do so, and the problem was solved through the process, the proper court process. I don't understand. And if you're a Chicago police officer, are you not held during your department policy to operate properly on your conduct to represent yourself and your department in other areas, other states? What would you do if somebody was squealing your tires and all you needed was the probable cause to get into their car? If you're acting like a thug and you're drawing attention to yourself, you got what you wanted. Personally, I don't see the problem here.
That as officers performed the traffic stop, the odor of freshly burnt rubber was coming from the vehicle could be detected.
Most police reports that we see, especially when you find an instance of police overreach or police misconduct or what have you, you see wordsmithing, right? You see a police report to justify actions that are not justifiable. And for me, reading this, that is what I see.
Here's the body camera video. Jalen is driving that orange Dodge Hellcat. There is no audio for the first 30 seconds.
You can see Jalen's car right there.
Right, no smoke. There was no spinning of tires. Even without audio, you don't see smoke. Those tires would generate smoke.
The audio turns on here as a bike officer approaches him.
Hey, give me your ID.
Then the officer tells him to pull over after the light turns green.
You want to step by the car for me? What? I'm asking you to step by the car. Well, I'm asking what's the talk at the back of the car. I don't want to. I'll have to. So you're going to step by the car for me, or I'm going to have to make it.
If this guy's a cop, he knows he has to. Why hasn't he identified himself? I'm a Chicago police officer. Why? And why is he actively resisting after there's an order? Why is CPD not disciplined him? I haven't done any research in this whatsoever. I hope he has been. But how's this not conduct unbecoming?
Jalen does get out of his rental car. Here's a full exchange as he's placed in handcuffs.
Right from the back of the car. Here's your back. You haven't got to the car?
I'm the police, bro.
You're on the police?
You see, I gave you my ID.
I didn't see it.
So he's in handcuffs as soon as he gets out of the car.
That's outrageous.
Why?
That's absolutely outrageous, especially.
Why? If they can articulate it, here's the problem is I don't want to make this about race, and I'm tired of about being race. If these officers had an articulable reason to pull him out of the car, Pennsylvania versus Mims, for officer safety reasons, then do it. If they could put him in handcuffs and articulate it was an officer safety reason, then do it. If they couldn't, then we have an issue and discipline them. It doesn't matter. If the problem I have is you have an active Chicago police officer who, for the love of God, we know this is what they do on a daily basis, but you're crying about making it race? You should have been in another state, in another city, driving on your absolute best behavior, not acting like an idiot. If you squealed your tires, hey, I apologize to Hellcat. I touched the gas, it goes, man. I don't even have to do anything. Here's my license, here's my insurance. I'm on the job, I'm in Chicago, I apologize greatly. Don't act like that. This is an attitude. If it's on both of them, fine. Don't make it about race. Don't make it about race. That's the problem I have with this.
For traffic, right? He's asking why. He wants to know what the issue is. And as soon as he steps out the vehicle, he's put in handcuffs as if he's some type of threat. Why?
The body camera video goes on to show Jalen asking why he's in cuffs.
Have a seat, bro.
What am I under arrest for?
Sit down.
I'll explain to you in a second.
Gas the tires? I'm going to jail?
Oh, I didn't say you're going to jail.
That's under arrest. You go to jail for being under arrest.
That's up to this officer if you're going to jail, but you are under arrest.
The NAACP vice president says it's not just what he's seeing, but what he hears the officers say.
So as soon as we pull people out of the car, we put them in handcuffs because people run from us all the time down here.
I think that's
okay. If that's standard department policy, then I don't see an issue on this. So you can't make this about race unless you're willing to sit there and acknowledge that out of 100 traffic stops, if they pulled over 50 white people and 50 black people, based on the information that they have visibly and body camera observed, and they've documented that, I don't know, 49 of the 50 black guys ran, and 49 of the white guys stayed, and one guy ran. So are you pattern recognition again? I don't see any problem with this. Let's keep going.
lie. And again, that's not justified. We've seen people pulled out of cars for DUIs or whatever the case may be, right? And they don't automatically get placed in handcuffs.
Yeah, because you need to do field sobriety for that. So again, circumstances dictate tactics. Give the whole picture on everything. Don't just selectively put what you want out because it's a racial bias issue that you just don't agree with, but you know is true.
Not even policy that I know of.
Then listen, as they told Jalen he has to go to jail.
Since you're out of state, I can't cut you a ticket.
The ABC 15 investigators went through Tempe's cite and release policy. It says physical arrests are only for DUIs, felonies, unlawful flight, and refusing to sign a citation. None of that fits Jalen's case. Tempe's policy also says out-of-state violators will not be brought into the station to post bond as long as they will take care of the ticket.
We have officers misapplying statute. We have officers stating things that are supposed laws that are not. And these are the people who police us and have controls over our freedoms.
And another concern, officers told Jalen and his passenger they have no choice but to impound the car.
Honestly, I don't want to tow the car. I have to tow the car because it's state law. It mandates you to tow it.
But Jalen and his lawyers dispute whether towing the car was really required.
And with them impounding it, it gave them the right to do an inventory search, which I feel was an aggressive tactic by them to go around my Fourth Amendment rights.
Which is the same thing you do on a daily basis. Holy shit. If this was a citizen, I'd be like, this is okay, dude, I might be on your side. It's just the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy. Some of you guys have no idea the creative writing bullshit that cops use, the language around stuff. That's exactly how everyone justifies a search when you do not get a consent search. It's literally, I'm not giving away any secret in law enforcement here. Hey, I'm going to arrest you. Now I get to search the vehicle for an inventory purpose. And an inventory checklist, I will tell you this from experience. The inventory checklist has got checkboxes all over the place, and you fill out the vehicle. Usually what happens is an arresting officer stays inside the car, and you want to hurry up and fill it out because you don't want your partner to go search the car without you because you want to be the guy to find this stuff, right? So you got the check boxes and you don't even look. You don't even look and you check the boxes off before you even look, right? Yeah, okay, there's that trunk. I checked the trunk, checked the glove box, all this. And you're inventorying for shit that you haven't even looked yet to document it's there. So if there's a baseball bat in there, nobody puts one Louisville Slugger baseball bat seen on the back of the car, on the back of the seat. So that if he comes back and says, hey, my Louisville Slugger's gone, where's it at? Well, we inventoried it. Nobody does that. No one. So he's going to complain. It's aware of my Fourth Amendment right because you do it all the time. And I can guarantee you, based on how my experience and knowledge of CPD is, when you deal with those people who are south of 290 that look just like you, that you're leveraging your skin color out of state to get the NAACP involved, you violate those motherfuckers' constitutional rights almost on a daily basis because they're ignorant and they don't use the law. They don't know the law. You're counting on that and you don't care. This video has got to be hypocrisy times whatever infinity would come up to
search my vehicle without probable cause because they had none.
Since Jalen's arrest, the NAACP has met with Tempe PD with concerns around their bike unit and how they treat African Americans.
This cannot continue to happen. Something needs to be done. And I put that at the chief's feet.
Miller says he's pushing for these officers to be retrained and reprimanded.
This is a bad arrest. And this has to be stated to be a bad arrest from the Tempe Police Department.
The Tempe Police Department.
There's been worse arrests out there with the damn departments on all sides. This is a black issue. It's all it is. It's a race baiting claim. It is what it is. It's leveraging skin color for political points. End of story. If you guys do not believe, and you can never hear about it from active police officers because policy prohibits it. No one will ever talk about the correlation between crimes and culture, pattern recognition, and just data on top of data. Recidivism, and then officers being able to use discretion when they need to, and enforcing the biggest BS petty laws out there, squealing tires. Yeah, guess what? You could still stop somebody for that, but it's a load of garbage. And then another active cop who, God knows, works for a system who, if probable cause was able to be defined by 50% of them, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. And yet you're going to sit there and play poor me. I'm a black man and I got pulled over and they went through my vehicle and then they arrested me because you do the same thing. You do the same thing. This video is a joke. I really couldn't care less the outcome. And hey, if it's 100% racial, then good. I'm glad it happened because we need to point this out. And officers like this need to be, actually what they need to be, this is why. You need to sit there and compel them to talk and say, why'd you pull a black guy over? Because we need to start hearing the truth of law enforcement and why they pull over blacks and why they pull over whites, why they pull over races, so that we could start getting this shit on the table to prevent politicians from leveraging this for empathy points and stop perpetuating the public's ignorance of, well, oh my gosh, they just target blacks for no reason whatsoever. No, their culture commits an insanely tilted scale, disproportionate number of violent crimes and petty crimes for a reason that can only be connected to the culture itself. But we don't want to talk about that. It's basic human behavior. And you're going to leave the police to be the ones that are always taking the blame and never the people who are committing the actual crimes based on the behavior of their culture in the first place. I don't know why this is such a hard concept for people to grasp. CopTalkLive.org. We go live every Wednesday night. We have these extremely candid conversations about law enforcement. You can call in anytime, 708-982-0974, especially when we're live. And that's it. This video is a joke. It's a political race baiting grab. I really couldn't care less. Both sides are wrong, but it is what it is. Guys, have a great damn day. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.